My nanny's daughter loves to dress up. Whenever she attends an occasion, she wears more gorgeous clothes than me, the legitimate daughter. In my previous life at my engagement dinner, she cut up all my evening gowns and attended the dinner in her best clothes. She became the focus of the whole audience. Everyone said that she was more like the heroine of the dinner. My fiancé fell in love with her at first sight, and they secretly got married. After I found out the truth, I forcefully broke them up. In the end, my parents were framed and died, and they drowned me in the sea. In my next life, I went back to the day when the nanny's daughter cut my clothes. Seeing her cutting my clothes with a sick smile, I also smiled. Please, I am the daughter of a wealthy family. How dare you, a lowly servant, fight with me when you eat and use my family's things? When I opened my eyes again, the first person I saw was the butler, Gong Shu. Miss, something bad has happened. The evening gown you customized has been secretly worn by Su Xiaoxiao. When I chased her out the door, I saw her driving away in my sports car. Su Xiaoxiao only left me with a puff of exhaust gas as I stood there. If I had known, I should not have asked him to go with me to take the driver's license test. When I returned to the villa, my uncle said that in the upstairs cloakroom, all the high-end dresses had been damaged to varying degrees by humans and could no longer be worn. Just like in my previous life, I stood at the door of the cloakroom, looking at the mess in the room and the clothes scattered on the floor, and calmly told my uncle to call the police. I picked up my mobile phone and dialed my mother's number. When the call was connected, I quickly changed into a crying voice. Something had happened to my mother, and our house was robbed. In my previous life, Su Xiaoxiao wore my evening dress and ruined all my clothes for formal occasions. I was furious and hurriedly put on a skirt and drove to my engagement party. As a result, there was a traffic jam on the road. When I ran into the banquet hall, I saw that Su Xiaoxiao, who was in high spirits, had become the focus of everyone. My fiancé Yanjin and my younger brother Xie Zihao were also surrounding him. I lost my mind and cried like a madman. He made a scene at the banquet and made my parents lose face. Although I still married Yanjin as I wished, I fell into his trap. After marriage, he took advantage of my father's trust in him and entered the company's senior management. He smuggled through illegal channels and put the blame on my father. After my father was imprisoned, my mother was distracted because of excessive grief and had a car accident. She was seriously injured and hospitalized and eventually died. My stupid brother Xie Zihao was also framed by Yanjin and Su Xiaoxiao and was thrown into prison. In the end, Yanjin took me to the high seas on a yacht to be with Su Xiaoxiao and pushed me into the sea. You are not even as good as a tiny hair. Marrying you is the most disgusting thing I have ever done in my life. The cold sea water covered my head. The last thing I saw was Yanjin holding Su Xiaoxiao in his arms and kissing her. I rushed to the banquet hall with the police. When I opened the door of the banquet hall, the scene in front of me was exactly the same as in the previous life. In this way, Su Xiaoxiao was surrounded by people. She was wearing my lavender evening dress. The soft fabric made her figure look even more graceful. Yanjin and Xie Zihao were like two flower-guarding messengers, surrounding her on the left and the right, like stars surrounding the moon. The only difference was that in the last life, Mom and Dad were calling me anxiously, but in this life, because I explained the situation in advance and asked them not to act rashly, the two of them just sat quietly in their seats, watching everything that happened in the banquet hall with cold eyes. The leading police officer walked up to Su Xiaoxiao and asked, "Are you Su Xiaoxiao?" Seeing the police, Su Xiaoxiao was a little stunned. Yes, someone called the police and said that you are suspected of destroying and stealing other people's property. Please go back with us for investigation." Su Xiaoxiao looked at me with moisture brewing in her eyes. "Zilan, how could you do this to me?" I took a step back. "What do you mean, how did I treat you? Can you stop crying all the time, as if no one can't shed tears?" He looked at the policeman again. "Comrade police, this is a misunderstanding. My sister was joking with you." I quickly interrupted him. "What nonsense are you talking about? Who is your sister? How dare I joke about something like a burglary at home?" I turned my head and looked at the policeman. My sports car was indeed missing. The servants at home said that they had not touched my car, and many clothes in my cloakroom were damaged to varying degrees. I have arranged for someone to get the surveillance copies at home, and then it will be clear who did it. The people around heard what I said, and then looked at Su Xiaoxiao's eyes, which became intriguing. Su Xiaoxiao's tears fell as soon as she said she would. "Xilan, I know you are of noble birth, but this is not a reason for you to insult me at will. Although I am poor, I also have dignity. You can't humiliate me in public like this. Do you have money to insult others at will and trample on others' self-esteem? Stop me and..." Stretch out my hand to stop him. Continue. "What's wrong with me being rich? I am rich because of my father. My parents worked hard to earn it. Should I die just because I have money? There are all well-known people in this banquet hall. Who doesn't have some family background? If you say so, are we all rich and unkind?" I didn't give him the slightest chance to speak. Besides, even if I am rich and unkind, it's not your turn to administer justice. You are wearing my clothes and standing so close to my fiancé. What kind of justice is this? I don't care whether you have self-respect or not. But before you say this, can you give me back this evening dress that belongs to me? I made it for myself for this day, not for you as a wedding dress. After hearing what I said, everyone's eyes were focused on the evening dress he was wearing. I said, why does he look a little awkward in this dress? It seems that he stole someone else's. I heard that he is the daughter of Xia's nanny. I said, why have I never seen him before? How can he be so confident? Stealing the owner's clothes and still talking about dignity is really hypocritical. Su Xiaoxiao listened to the discussions of the people around her, her face turning pale and blue. It was not right to take it off, and it was not right not to take it off. When she was struggling, Yan Jin beside him finally spoke. Enough. Yan Jin stepped forward and stood in front of Su Xiaoxiao. Xia Ziren, you've gone too far. The look he gave Su Xiaoxiao was indescribably gentle. Isn't it just a piece of clothing? I think Xiaoxiao looks much more beautiful in this dress than you do. Why can't you be more broad-minded like Xiaoxiao and give this dress to him? Giving roses to others will leave a lingering fragrance on your hands. The look he gave me was filled with a chill that kept people away. On such an important day, do you have to make such an embarrassing scene and embarrass everyone? He looked at the policeman. It's just a misunderstanding. Thank you all for making this trip. You can go back. The leading policeman glanced at him. Are you the person who reported the case? If not, please stay away. He is an illegitimate child, the current male owner of the Yin family, Yan Fuhai. When I was outside, I accidentally left behind a debt of love. After Yan Fuhai's original wife died, he quickly brought Yan Jing and her son back home. This matter was no secret in the local area. In my previous life, I was bewitched by Yan Jing and rushed to pursue her and obeyed her in everything. No matter what she asked, I tried my best to satisfy her. In the end, I was killed by her and there was not even a whole corpse left. But I am no longer the person I was in my previous life. My eyes are full of love. My eyes fell on Yan Fuhai hiding behind the crowd and his current wife. Uncle Yan is only engaged now. I haven't even entered your Yan family yet. Yan Jin treated me like this because of a woman. Do you think this marriage is necessary? The status of the Yan family is not a little worse than that of the Xia family. Yan Jin and his mistress can have their current status in the Yan family, which is directly related to my engagement. When Yan Fuhai heard that I mentioned his name, he had to walk up embarrassedly, glared at Yan Jin fiercely and apologized. Yan Jin's neck stiffened. I did nothing wrong. Why should I apologize? Yan Jin's mother came over and pinched him secretly, but he still didn't react. My father walked up to him with disdain and said, "Who do you think you are? If my precious daughter hadn't fallen in love with you, what qualifications do you have to stand here today?" My mother pointed and said, "Comrade Su Xiaoxiao, we must investigate this matter today. Please take him away for investigation." Xia Zihao, who had been silent, suddenly spoke up and said, "Dad, shut up. You look so worthless." My father gave him a cold look, like a penguin begging for food in a zoo. "You've lost my face." Xia Zihao had to watch as the police took Su Xiaoxiao away. The surveillance camera at home clearly showed that Su Xiaoxiao walked into my cloakroom, picked up my evening dress and walked out. When she appeared in the surveillance camera again, she had put on the evening dress, but with a pair of scissors in her hands. She opened the wardrobe where I specially put the dresses, picked up a pair of scissors and cut them one by one. The surveillance footage in the garage also showed that it was she who got into my sports car and drove out. The evidence was conclusive and Su Xiaoxiao had no room to deny. In the police station, she tearfully begged for forgiveness. "Zylan, I know I was wrong. I just wanted to play a joke on you. I didn't want to ruin your engagement party. Will you forgive me?" I took out my cell phone, pressed a few buttons and handed it to her. I counted up all the things, a total of 530,000. "If you can compensate me for my losses, I will issue a reconciliation agreement. What do you think? If you are wrong, you must admit it. If you are beaten, you must stand up. You must understand this principle, right? 530,000 is not a small amount. His mother is a nanny in my house and only makes 7,000 yuan a month. He can't afford so much money. Because of what happened today, Yan Fu locked Yan Jin at home and didn't let him go out. So, he couldn't expect Yan Jin to come to the rescue at all, and Yan Jin was that as an illegitimate child, he couldn't come up with so much money. The most despised person in the entertainment industry is a bastard like him whose origin is unknown. Although he was taken back home, he did not achieve financial freedom, and naturally no one would lend him money, except me. It's a pity. I have just been reborn, and I am no longer the love-brained person who obeys him in everything. But what I didn't expect was that Su Xiaoxiao finally raised enough money. A text message informed me that 530,000 yuan had arrived. I immediately signed the mediation agreement. I have always said what I should do, but I didn't regret it until I signed the mediation agreement and walked out of the police station. I said to Su Xiaoxiao, How could you raise so much money in such a short time? It turned out that it was all transferred to him by my good brother Xieziheo. Su Xiaoxiao just cried and called a how on the phone, and that idiot happily transferred the money to Su Xiaoxiao's bank card. Looking at Xieziheo hugging Su Xiaoxiao, I was so angry I was furious. This was no different from putting all my own money from left to right. What was even more infuriating was that he openly brought Su Xiaoxiao back home. When I got up in the morning, I opened the door and heard Su Xiaoxiao and Xieziheo talking downstairs. I went downstairs and saw Su Xiaoxiao clinging to Xieziheo in the restaurant like a sucker fish. When the two saw me, they showed expressions of shared hatred for the enemy, as if I had sent Su Xiaoxiao to police station, as if the crime was unforgivable. There was a sumptuous breakfast in front of the two people, but in front of me was like a wilderness full of locusts, without even a glass of water. Aunt Wu in the kitchen saw me coming downstairs, but she gave me a slap on the back of her head as if she didn't see me, and cleaned up the kitchen by herself. She was venting her anger for her daughter and trying to show me a warning. I coughed twice, but he still ignored me. I called my uncle, but he couldn't even prepare breakfast. Why not change a nanny? Uncle Gong ordered, nodding. Okay, miss, I'll do it right away. Su Xiaoxiao couldn't sit still anymore. Xie Zilin, what right do you have to fire my mother? Because it's been almost 10 minutes since I went downstairs, and I haven't even seen a glass of water. The Xie family is not a charity association, and I don't have that much kindness. I don't want to support a waste. Xieziheo took Su Xiaoxiao into his arms. You don't have hands, so you can't pour water by yourself. I glanced at him. Xieziheo, don't force me to slap you early in the morning. He is a nanny and should work. Otherwise, why did the family hire him? As a decoration? But you are my own brother. But you are so indiscriminate and help outsiders to accuse your sister. Are you crazy? Wu Ma stood behind Xieziheo, without any panic on her face. Miss, I am your husband and wife. I was hired by you, but I didn't earn your money. Even if you want to fire me, you have to ask me. You don't have that right. I have been in the Xie family for more than 10 years. I have no merits but hard work. I have always treated you as my own daughter. Wait, miss, isn't it too uncultured to talk to an elder like this? Aunt Wu actually thinks my daughter is uncultured. Then go find a well-educated family to be a nanny. Mom stood on the second floor looking down at the ground. I looked for you upstairs for a long time. Since you don't want to work in our Xie family, why don't you just resign? Aunt Wu was not tough this time and hurriedly explained, Madam, I didn't mean that. I also feel sorry for the young lady and am afraid that she will suffer outside, so I am Wu Ma. Yes, it's my sister who is too reasonable. It was my sister who was wrong in the first place. Xieziheo didn't notice the displeasure in his mother's eyes at all, and was still making excuses for him. My sister likes to bully Xiaoxiao on weekdays. If it weren't for Xiaoxiao's magnanimity, I would have Xieziheo long ago. Mom interrupted his chattering, go back to your room. You will stay in there for the rest of your life without my permission. Seeing that his mother was angry, he didn't dare to act rashly. He glared at me hatefully, got up and went back to the room. When he passed by me, Xie Zilin said in a low voice, just wait for me. Aunt Wu was not fired after all, because I pleaded with my mother to keep him, saying that we should see his future performance. I told Uncle Gong before to change a nanny, but it was just to scare him. They mother and daughter have hurt me badly enough. How can I let him go so easily? Aunt Wu nodded and thanked her profusely, but when she raised her head, the resentment in her eyes was not concealed very well. What I want is that he is not angry so that it is interesting to torture him. The next day Yin Jin came to Xie Zilin. I misjudged you. I didn't expect you to be so domineering. Xiaoxiao just wore your clothes, and you want to drive his mother away. What are you thinking? If you don't apologize to Aunt Wu and Xiaoxiao for this matter, I will never marry you. His words made me very happy. That's great. You go home and tell your parents that we will cancel the engagement. I will also explain it clearly to my parents. We will go our separate ways and owe each other nothing in the future. You go your way and I go mine. What if it was in the past? If Yan Jin said this, I would definitely run to Su Xiaoxiao and apologize to him and beg for his forgiveness, but I am no longer the person I used to be. Not only do I not want to listen to him now, I also want him to die. When he heard me say this, he didn't react for a moment. What you meant by this? He suddenly said, Xie Zilin, I'm telling you, don't play hard to get with me. Go and apologize honestly, otherwise I'll be really angry. I folded my arms and leaned against the door frame. Give birth. Let me see what you look like when you're angry. Xie Zilin, don't challenge my bottom line. Give birth or not, I'll close the door if you don't. He pointed his finger at me. Xie Zilin, I really gave you face, believe it or not. I looked at his hand that was almost poking my nose, and I really couldn't help it. I reached out and grabbed that finger and pushed it hard. There was a crisp sound of snapping from my hand, and Yan Jin immediately covered his hand, squatting on the ground in pain. Xie Zilin, how dare you? He was halfway through his harsh words when I kicked him hard, making him roll on the ground. I took out the baseball bat I had prepared in advance and hit him again and again, like a shrew beating her own mangy dog. Cancel the engagement, fine? If you don't, you are not a human being. You illegitimate child, why are you so proud? If I hadn't been poking at you, you couldn't even get into the Yen family's door. So what if I hit you? Call the police if you have the guts. I challenged your bottom line. What's wrong? Not only am I challenging you, I will definitely break your bottom line today. Yan Jin fell to the ground, covering his broken fingers and wailing with his head in his hands. He was in such a miserable state. After beating me for a long time, I lost my temper and threw away the stick in my hand. Let's go quickly. He glared at me hatefully, and when he saw me picking up the stick again, he limped away. Gong Shu stood at the door and stretched out his hand to take the stick from my hand. If he really broke off the engagement, would you be willing to do so, miss? I raised my eyebrows. What's there to be reluctant about? If he really dares to break up with me, then I will really look at him with new eyes. The question is he really willing to break up with me? Yan Jing didn't have the courage to ask me to break up with him. He just took the beating. He lied that he fell into the elevator shaft to cover up the fact that I beat him up. In the short term, he didn't have the energy to jump in front of me, so I pointed the finger at Su Xiaoxiao and his mother. Uncle Gong is definitely the worm in my stomach. We work together almost perfectly. Aunt Wu, I want to eat rice cake tomorrow. You can buy some glutinous rice and make it yourself. It must be springy and not sticky. Aunt Wu, I want to eat fish balls with coarse noodles. I love crucian carp. After buying the fish, the bones must be removed and then it is mashed into meat paste. Don't fry me. Aunt Wu, I want to eat dumplings in the evening. The stuffing mixed by the machine is not delicious. You can buy 10 pounds of lean meat and cut it finely. Don't splash any fat on it when making the sauce. Aunt Wu, cook with vegetable oil, it doesn't smell good. Go buy 10 pounds of fat meat to make oil. Cut it into small pieces too. Don't splash any lean meat on it when making the sauce. My requests became more and more excessive. My mother saw that the workload of the past 2 days had increased by 1,800% month-on-month, and 2,300% year-on-year. She was so tired that she couldn't bear it anymore. She finally couldn't help but exploded, but it was not to make fun of me. I sat on the sofa with 3 parts of disdain, 3 parts of stubbornness, and 4 parts of domineering on my face. I wanted to make fun of you. Uncle Gong appeared behind me at the time, like an elegant gentleman. If you are willing to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, get out. If you don't want to do this job, there are plenty of people who can do it. Aunt Wu, shut up honestly, but this was just the beginning for them and their mother. While racking my brains to make things difficult for Aunt Wu, I began to direct Su Xiaoxiao to do all kinds of housework. Su Xiaoxiao was raised in my family since she was a child. Mom and Dad thought that they had found a companion for me, so naturally they didn't let her do any work. But the scene at the engagement banquet let Mom and Dad know that they were so. Not only have I raised an ungrateful person for many years, but this ungrateful person has extended his sharp fangs to my baby. Naturally, my daughter doesn't even have the slightest affection for her. So Su Xiaoxiao's nightmare began. Uncle Gong not only considerately kicked her out of the second bedroom next to me, but also considerately let her move into the laundry room downstairs. I even treated her as the babysitter of the house, and ordered her to do this and that. Su Xiaoxiao wiped the table. Can't you see that the soil in the garden needs to be loosened? Why are you still standing there? Fold 20,000 paper cranes for me. I will donate them to earthquake-stricken areas abroad. I have been negotiating with Mongolia recently and plan to buy an aircraft carrier. You quickly clean up the swimming pool in the yard so that I can hurry up for training. Su Xiaoxiao finally couldn't help it and threw the mop for wiping the fish pond in front of me. Then I realized that you were making up lies. I glanced at the swimming pool that he had been wiping for 2 days. How did you see through it? A hint of pride flashed across Su Xiaoxiao's face. Mongolia doesn't have an aircraft carrier at all. Thank you. Zilan, what right do you have to order me to work? I'm not your family's servant. I nodded. You are indeed not, but my mother is. Humph, don't think that you can ride on other people's heads just because you have a little money. Your wealth is not the capital to make things difficult for us poor people. What are you so arrogant about? Su Xiaoxiao, I paid your mother to be a nanny, not to let her bring you to my house for free food and drink. If you don't want to do it, it's okay. I didn't force you to sign a contract to sell your body. If you don't want to do it, you can leave. Xie Zilan, I reiterate again, I am not your family's servant. Uncle Gong appeared again at the right time. Su Xiaoxiao, the Xie family has no obligation to provide you with food and lodging, so if you can't exchange your own labor, then I can only regretfully inform you to move out on a certain day. But I am the nanny's family member. I'm sorry, I don't like the nanny to live in my house with her family. I looked him straight in the eyes and told him to either clean the swimming pool for me before tomorrow or get out of here. Outside, Xie Zihao, who was enjoying himself, finally went home. Seeing his face full of lawsuit, I knew it must be Su Xiaoxiao who hid in the swimming pool secretly and called him to complain. He kicked open my door. Xie Xilan, who asked your dad, why are you here? Dad grabbed a thick stack of photos in his hand, and when he saw him come in he threw the photos in his face. How could I give birth to such a spendthrift like you? He slapped Xie Zihao in the face. Look at what you have done. Xie Zihao picked up the photo with a confused face, only took a look and looked at me hatefully. It was you who had a secret with Dad. Xie Xilan, I will not let you go. The photo showed him and Su Xiaoxiao gambling in an underground casino in the previous life. He was dragged by Su Xiaoxiao to the underground casino to gamble, and finally was bewitched by Su Xiaoxiao to open an underground casino, and then he was thrown into prison. So for this matter I found a private detective early and got the key evidence. Dad was so angry that he was shaking all over, swung his arm and slapped him again. I taught you a lesson. If your sister hadn't found it in time, something will happen to you, sooner or later, and you still dare to blame your sister. I handed the baseball bat that I used to beat Yanjin to him. Dad took the baseball bat and I'll break your hand. Let's see if you dare to gamble again. Xie Zihao was so scared that pus was about to flow out of his fart and ran away crawling. I secretly pouted my lips. He had such little courage, but he dared to open a casino. I thought he was very bold. Although the male lead was gone, the show had already begun and it had to go on. Gongshu stood at the door of my room and knocked. I patted Dad's back gently to help him calm down. I looked up and asked Gongshu, is there anything wrong? Sir, the pair of sapphire earrings that Madam lost 2 days ago. It's good to find them. I pretended to ask casually where I found them. In Wu Ma's room, I also found Madam's lost emerald ring and ice bracelet. In the last life it was this woman who gave Yanjin the idea to throw me into the sea. Sinan had been staring at him for so long, and he was finally angry. Could finally be over. When the police came, Mother Wu cried so hard that she fainted several times. I accompanied my mother to the police station to take a statement. Because the stolen items were too valuable, Mother Wu would probably have to stay in there for a few years. When Su Xiaoxiao rushed to the police station, she saw Mother Wu already in handcuffs. The separation of life and death between mother and daughter was very distressing. I went to the toilet twice in embarrassment because of my peeing. Her acting was so good. When I came out of the toilet, Su Xiaoxiao was completely ferocious. She looked at me like a man-eating bear. Thank you. Xilan, we are not done with this matter. Just wait. Your brother and your fiancé are on my side. How big a wave do you think you, a loach in a mud pit, can make? Let's wait and see. Sooner or later I will make you pay. Su Xiaoxiao's words woke me up. Although Yanjin and Xie Zihao were severely injured by me, they are not to the point where they cannot recover. My current situation is still not so optimistic, so I bought a big bunch of roses and went to see Yanjin. Jing, I'm sorry I went too far before it. I can't live without you. I care about you too much, so I targeted Su Xiaoxiao. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me, okay? Xiaoxiao won't forgive me now, and I dare not ask for her forgiveness. I am a sinner and I will spend my whole life to atone for my sins. I knelt in front of the bed with flowers in my hands, crying my heart out, but Yulua was unmoved until I took out a bank card from my pocket. It doesn't matter if you don't forgive me. I have 6 million in this card. It is all my pocket money. I will give it all to you. I'm sorry to Xiaoxiao. You buy some things for me to compensate him. It's considered that I have repaid a little debt to him. Yanjin snorted coldly and snatched the card from my hand. Seeing that you are so, because you are sensible, I will forgive you this time. I was grateful and quickly took out a key from my pocket. This is the key to Xiaoxiao's current residence. Jing, I'm sorry for him. He will definitely not want to see me now. You go and take care of him for me. Yanjing's eyes lit up. What you said is true. I nodded vigorously. It is truer than gold. As long as Jing can forgive me, I will do anything you ask me to do. This made Yanjing very happy. He reached out and helped me up. Xilan, don't worry, I will treat you well in the future. I suppressed the nausea in my heart and hugged him. I know I have many shortcomings. As long as you don't dislike me and don't abandon me, I will do anything for you. Jing, no, I can't live without you. Yanjin hugged me tightly. Yeah, I understand, you understand shit. Ever since Wu Ma's accident, Su Xiaoxiao didn't dare to go back to the Xie family villa. Not to mention her personal belongings, she didn't even care about the half-clean swimming pool. The aircraft carrier training had to be shelved for the time being. Yanjin took the bank card and key, and hurried to find Su Xiaoxiao to relive the old dream. He didn't know that Su Xiaoxiao had been taken to his house outside by Xie Zijin. Living in that house now, she has become the station keeper of the two of them. Yanjin had just left, and the servants in the house called Xie Zihao, master is not good. The eldest lady took a few strong men out. I vaguely heard the eldest lady said that she seemed to be going to the house you bought near the general's tomb, and she also said that she would make someone look bad, so you should go back and have a look. Sure enough, in less than a minute my cell phone rang. The name displayed on the screen was the stupidest person in the world. I pressed the answer button and Xie Zihao's angry voice rang. Xie Xilan, if you dare to move a tiny finger, I will never let you go. I am your sister, what can you do to me? I snorted coldly. Xieziheo, I will go to your golden house where you hide your beauty soon. I will make Su Xiaoxiao regret being born in this world. Xieziheo's voice was distorted. Xiezilan, if you have something to do, come to me, don't touch him. I gave an order to the men who did not exist around me. After going upstairs and talking, I hung up the phone directly. Xieziheo and Yanjin started fighting. The fight was very bad. I had turned on the jammer outside Xieziheo's house in advance. He couldn't get through to Su Xiaowan, so he had to rush back in a hurry. As a result, he rushed upstairs in a hurry, intending to be a hero to save the beauty. But the first time he opened the door, he heard Yanjin and Su Xiaoxiao's violent and lewd voices in the rain. A large number of media were like flies that smelled sweetness. They drove their long guns and short cannons and blocked the door of Xieziheo's outer house. The wonderful fight between Xieziheo and Yanjin was faithfully and completely recorded by the cameras in the hands of media friends. Su Xiaoxiao stood not far away, heartbroken. I shouted at the top of my lungs, "Stop hitting me. Please don't hit me anymore." My face was covered with tears. I endured the great pain and staggered into the car. The camera did not escape the eyes of the media. Now everyone knows that the illegitimate son of the Yen family cheated on his fiancée and gave his future brother-in-law a green hat. I sat in the car, looking at the three people surrounded by reporters behind me. I took out a tissue and wiped the surging tears in my eyes. The uncle's eyes fell on my face through the rearview mirror. The eldest lady had great acting skills. I closed my eyes in pain. Oh my god, this onion is too spicy. Yanjin has completely offended the Xie family. Xieziheo said that he would bring down the Yen family. Yanjin was desperate. You had no choice but to come and beg me, Xilan, you have to save me. If Xieziheo keeps doing this, I will really be kicked out by my dad. Yan Fuhai has always been a heartless person. For the sake of the family property, he would even send his own mother away, not to mention his illegitimate son. With tears in my eyes, I slapped him hard in the face. I asked you to take care of him for me, and this is how you took care of him. Did I ask you to take care of him in bed? Now that things have come to this, you still have the nerve to come and beg me. Do you know, because of you I have become the laughingstock of the entire Xie family. And now because of your little thing, the whole city is in uproar. Everyone says that I, Xie Xilan's fiancé, look down on our Xie family and say that I am paying money and rushing to take care of myself. I gave it to you, but you got angry at me and said I was a worthless loser. You a bastard, if you hadn't been engaged to me, you and your slut mother couldn't even enter the Yen family. How dare you do this to me? I'm so affectionate to you. Yanjin was anxious and incoherent. Xilan, you have to believe me, it was Su Xiaoxiao who seduced me. But it takes two to tango. If you didn't have any feelings for him, how could he seduce you? Don't make up this story, you probably don't believe it yourself. I am like this. I raised my head to prevent my tears from falling since he seduced you. Then you should go online to clarify that you didn't like him at all. Tears streamed down my cheeks. Yanjin, you are still lying to me until now. I've really changed my mind about him. Let's break up. Someone secretly filmed a video of Yanjing asking for my forgiveness, but I slapped him in the face and posted it online. The illegitimate son of the Yen family, who was already at the center of the storm, has now become the focus. As expected, online violence has poured down on him. He eats from the bowl and keeps his eyes on the pot. He's really the biggest scumbag in the world. Even Xi Minqing has to have a tattoo on his back that says, "Your own mother is a mistress." This is a true inheritance, and it's really a family legacy. That Su Xiaoxiao is not a good thing either. She's playing both sides. Facing the pervasive online violence, the Yen family has become the target of public criticism for a while, and has been pointed at by thousands of people. The rumors about the mistress taking over and the scumbag betraying have made the Yen family in turmoil, shaking, turbulent, and unstable. At the same time, I directly found a large number of media and announced the news of the withdrawal of engagement in a high-profile manner. In view of Mr. Yan's recent actions, I, Xie Xilan, took the initiative to cancel the engagement with Mr. Yan. From now on, Mr. Yan and I have nothing to do with each other. I am here to wish Mr. Yanjing and Ms. Su Xiaoxiao in advance that they can finally get married, live happily together, have children soon, grow old together, keep up the good work and create greater glory. I finished reading the script with a face full of sorrow and ignored the media's retention. I left the scene with tears in my eyes. I had to leave. If I didn't leave, I would laugh. When I got home, Xieziheo quit first. Xiezai, what did you mean by that? What do you mean by wishing them to have lovers finally get married? They are living happily together. What should I do? I looked at him in shock. Xieziheo, you are crazy. There is no other woman in the world. Su Xiaoxiao has been living with Yanjin. And in your house you want her too. Are you okay? Xieziheo got anxious. You are not allowed to say that about Xiaoxiao. She is the best girl in the world. Dad couldn't help it and kicked her out. She bewitched you. Is there no one else in your mind except her? Mom looked at her disappointedly. Arrange a blind date for her. Let her get married early. Win her heart. Yanjin and his mother, who were broken off the engagement, were kicked out of the Yen family. He is not the only illegitimate child of the Yen family. Without him, there will naturally be another. There are other illegitimate children to take his place. After all, Yin Fuhai has a bad reputation, so it is not surprising that he has several illegitimate children. After Su Xiaoxiao learned about Yin Jin's accident, she decisively cut off her relationship with him and directly blocked all of Yin Jin's contact information. Su Xiaoxiao, who lost a big brother, found Xie Zihao again, and the two stinky fish got together again. This time Xie Zihao learned to be treacherous and dared not settle Su Xiaoxiao in his outer house anymore. Instead, he took her to a hotel to get a room. So I kindly found someone to call the police and said that someone was engaging in illegal activities in the hotel. The two people were taken away by the police with no clothes on, and they successfully became a hot search again. Although the two people were finally questioned at the police station and released, the matter was still widely circulated. Yang Yang, the blind date arranged for Xie Zihao before, is a notoriously unruly young lady in the rich circle. When she learned that Xie Zihao was caught checking into a hotel with someone, this young lady brought people to my house and made a scene. She also had someone drive a bulldozer into my yard and fill up my swimming pool. This incident made my family lose face, but there was no good way. After all, Xie Zihao was wrong first. In the end, my parents couldn't stand it anymore. Instead of letting him get into trouble in China, it would be better to let him go abroad to embarrass himself. At least no one abroad would know him. So Xie Zihao was tied up and sent to my private plane. Before takeoff, I secretly raised the captain's salary, so the captain considerately changed the destination to after Xie Zihao went to Alaska. The down-and-out Yan Jin came to me again. He was wearing a relatively clean suit, but his beard was untidy and he was obviously not doing well. After all, the bank card I gave him was frozen by me on the same day. Xylan, your position in my heart has always been irreplaceable. I don't care about Su Xiaoxiao or Su Deta. In my heart, you are always the first. Let's start over, okay? I looked at him coldly. Yan Jin's mouth twitched and he almost cried. What do you want me to do to make you believe me? Yan Jin, you just touched your upper lip, and there was no expression on your lower lip. You are just trying to get something for nothing. How can I believe you? You are a prodigal son who has returned. How can I believe that you are a lamb who has strayed and come back to the right path? A strange light flashed in Yan Jin's eyes. He looked at me with burning eyes, as if he had made some great decision. Xylan, don't worry, I will let you see my sincerity. Yan Jin was taken away by the police. I was the one who called the police. That day he said he wanted to make a statement. I became suspicious, so I asked someone to follow him secretly. Yan Jin rented a luxury yacht, asked Su Xiaoxiao out, and when the yacht docked, Yan Jin was the only one left on the boat. He threw Su Xiaoxiao into the sea in the face of ironclad evidence. Yan Jin had no excuse. He could only bow his head and admit the fact that he had committed a crime. For intentional homicide, Yan Jin was sentenced. He was sentenced to suspended death sentence. When I heard from him again, he had gone mad and was transferred to a mental hospital for treatment. I went to the mental hospital to see him. He was wearing a straitjacket and had just received electrotherapy. He was trembling all over and drooling, but he was still shouting. I am the host of the Yin family. I am second to none and above 10,000 people. You all have to listen to me. The nurse opened his mouth and said, it's time for the head of the family to take medicine. The doctor explained to me with a smile that such a patient must be patted. I nodded, turned around and left with satisfaction and got in the car. My uncle looked at me through the rearview mirror and asked, Miss, where are we going next? I leaned back in my seat comfortably and said, let's go back to the company. There is a board meeting in the afternoon. Okay, Mississippi. The whole article is over.